my knowledge of Super Metroid has grown slightly. I am reminded, actually, I have like a vague memory now of somebody explaining how you can get to the spring ball room without the grapple beam, and it's the same trick we've already used once with good old Fred the Mocktroid, but we're going to do it again with a different kind of monster in a different area of Maridian now. If you ever needed more evidence that saving the animals was a crock, the fact that you can't save the Maridian animals is... I mean, it's terrible. These Maridian animals are so helpful. So we do need to do that glitch again, the one we did with Mocktroid Fred up top. But we're going to do it with different animals, or different monsters, rather. That's the wrong way, Brickroad. Where are you? Where do you think you're going, son? And the idea is we can reach the spring ball room with this glitch, and then using a similar version of the same glitch where Samus can clip through platforms if she's halfway inside of them, we're going to reach the top 2 missile tanks in the big Maridian room, which I have learned in my research is actually called the aqueducts. Players of this game have named every single room in the game. Here's a bit of trivia I did know. This room is called the pants room because it looks like pants. The idea is you have to destroy that grapple block. I mean, you just watched my 100% run and saw this. But the idea is you got to destroy that grapple block and go up and around, and you come down the other side into this room. But it's actually the same room, which means this is the only door in the game that goes to the same room. You're not actually changing rooms here. You're just using this door to transition between 2 halves of the same room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my screw attack off, turn my ice beam on, and we'll see. I practiced this a couple of times, and I got it within a couple of attempts. I don't know what the item is up here yet. With any luck, it's my Varia, and we'll be on our way. If not, I've got a second trick I've got to practice. Or a second trick I have practiced, sorry. So what I'm going to do is there's going to be one of those bouncing blob monsters up top there. I've got to freeze him at exactly the right spot in his jump. That looks good. There we go. Up and over. The idea is you have to do that. Oh, we have to get Spiky Man. Go, 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 go. Okay, he's good. I forgot Spiky Man was here. These blocks, by the way, don't even show up on X-Ray. They're not special blocks at all. So the idea for that, I mean, again, super easy. It's actually not difficult at all. You just want to make sure you have your screw attack turned off if you've got the screw attack so you don't accidentally... I guess it doesn't matter. You can't screw attack a frozen enemy, so even that was probably overkill. Oh, we want to turn ice back off. We're not going to need ice anymore until we get to Torian, which hopefully should be soon. Which hopefully will be very, very soon. The idea there is you jump up towards the blob man, and just as he loads on screen, you want to fire up at him with your ice wave beam, and that'll freeze him. And he tries to jump at you as soon as you load him in, so he's always in the proper frame of animation you need for him. So actually very handy. So this is going to be my Varia, or it's going to be my Speed Booster. Either of those 2 items will get me more checks. If this is neither of those, there's one more glitch I can do. It was just random missiles. Okie day. Now I really wish I had the spring ball. I guess I could just reset here, but I feel like I did all that work and we met Spiky Man. Alright, we'll just double bomb jump out of here. Alright, so the last clip is pretty much the same thing, but it's the most complicated one by far, and it doesn't involve freezing anything. You'll see what I mean when I get up there. Actually, how do I get out of here? Can I get out of here this way? Oh, there we go. There's crumble blocks. I guess I could have checked with my X-ray scope. I'm not used to using the X-ray scope. What I'm used to doing is laying power bombs to reveal blocks, because that's the way it's done in Zero Mission, and that's the way it's done in AM2R. So if I'm not exactly sure where a block is, laying a power bomb is a pretty good check. Okay, how do I get to the room? that I want to get to. I think we're going to go up and around this way. So the big frozen Maridian room, which I've since learned players have named the aqueducts, has 2 missile tanks in the top corner that require a shine spark to get to. But there's a glitchy way to clip through the area that you would normally have to shine spark in. It is completely surrounded by speed blocks, but the speed blocks are set just enough distance apart that if you're kneeling into them, if you're in your kneeling position and you stand up, you'll partially clip into the blocks above you, which means you can jump up through them. However, the positioning we have to do on the little monster that's going to help us this time is much trickier, because we don't get to freeze him in a particular location. We have to kind of control the enemy with our own movements. And we know there's 2 checks up here. We know one of them is a super missile, so Jolly Ranchers ahoy. And I don't know what the other one is yet. It has to be Speed Booster or Varia. It has to be. If it's not one of those 2 things, I can't think of another item to check. And this has been a very short episode, and I guess I'm going to go do more research. But yeah, I have vague memories now of mentioning that grapple block. I'm sure in the 100% run somebody has pointed out, no, you can get that item without the grapple beam. Which means in randomizer situations, the grapple beam is totally useless as far as gaining items. If you have the ice beam, you can get through that area anyway. So here's what we're going to do in this room. I'm going to show you where I'm going, and then we're going to walk through what we're doing. And so over here is a set of super missiles. And as you can see, there are speed blocks below it. You're supposed to shine spark up from below and get through there. Here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to turn off the screw attack. I don't think it matters, but I just don't want to... I don't want to risk it, basically. So we have to get this guy... This is Alfred the snail. We're going to put Alfred in the correct position on this wall. He only moves when our back is turned to him. He's like a Boo from Mario. That's too high, I think. But we're going to try it. Yeah, that was too high. Fortunately, this is Thomas. If Alfred doesn't work for us, we can use Thomas. And if Alfred and Thomas don't work for us, we can just reset the room. Because these 2 guys kind of spawn in this room. I have practiced this just for a few minutes. Again, just long enough to let Audacity do its thing so I can export my colorful commentary as MP3. That actually looks okay right there, I think. Let's find out. So when you get him into this position, you want to morph on top of him, and then you can just jump straight up through the blocks like that. Cool glitch! I like it a lot. And it's interesting that I've done a couple full runs of the Super Metroid randomizer over the years. And there's my Varia. Beautiful. Oh, it's good times. Let's go fight Ridley. Let's go do it. Let's get out of here. Maybe it's because I haven't picked the full randomization option that I'm using this time, but I did a couple runs just earlier this week as test plays for this to kind of acclimate myself to the randomizer a little bit, because I hadn't played it in many years. But yeah, apparently this is just a situation I'd never gotten into before. A situation where the Varia or Speed Booster rolls into one of those places. And again, I probably could go... An expert player could go fight Ridley with the tanks I have and the ammunition I have with just the items that I have. But I'd much rather... I had more fun learning the little glitches. And really, it's just 3 variations on the same glitch. And I already knew the glitch existed, because I already knew if you got Samus clipped partway into a solid object, you could jump up through that object, or move through it. Basically, just as a fail-safe to prevent her from ever getting stuck. There's just some clever ways to get her stuck purposely, so you can use the clips. So I guess I'm glad that this seed ended up forcing me to learn that thing, because now, not only is that a cool thing I know how to do in the game forever, but also future runs of this randomizer, I'll be able to put that knowledge to work. But I still don't have a speed booster, and I'm not going to get one, I guess. There's no need to get one. I probably should turn my screw attack back on. at some juncture in time. How about right now? How about we do it right now? We know where the spring ball is if we really wanted to get it. I actually kind of love that the spring ball rolled into a location that the vanilla game like hashtag requires you to have the spring ball for. So learning new techniques in this game is always fun, and it kind of rekindled a spark of the old glitch hunting that we used to do way back in the day that I was a part of, that I loved. Just learning the glitches, and my mind had always thought of these glitches. I knew you could use the freeze beam to get the clip through particular platforms. I always thought that these were like really precise glitches that were difficult to pull off, and it turns out they're all pretty easy. The snail one is pretty finicky, but it actually wasn't too terribly bad. Like, is this the right way? No, we want to go down. No, we don't want to go down. This is the right way. Never mind. Never mind. I know where we're going. Don't worry. I'm going to get us there. I'm going to get us there, probably. Yeah, down through here. This is good stuff. So we did all those hell runs for nothing. Those were not required in the logic at all. I don't know. Kind of fun that we did them, though. You know? Kind of, kind of interesting. We can skip Gold Chorizo. We have no need for more items. So whatever he's hiding in his room, we don't have any use for. So when we get to Lower Norfair, we're going to go to the right instead of the left. Which is what you would typically do and fight Gold Chorizo and get your screw attack. We have more than twice as many super missiles as the game typically provides. I don't have any clue what those actually replaced. I'm guessing just regular missile packs got rerolled into supers somehow. That does seem to be the most likely explanation, but my goodness. Ridley with Jolly Rancher 5 supers. I can't wait. But if we had not found the Various suit, and I'm pretty sure the randomizer can't not give you the Various suit at this point. It's not going to make you go to Lower Norfair without it. That's what the webpage says, even for the hard difficulties, and I believe the webpage. So we'll head down here. That skips the Golden Chorizo. So technically he's a optional boss even in vanilla, but then you've got to do these rooms with no screw attack. Which the randomizer potentially wants you to do. I have been in those situations before. Part of me actually wants to learn all the speedrunner room names now because some of them are pretty hilarious. And also just because if I get into a situation in the future where I get stuck like this, it was actually difficult to research the solution because, like, what are you going to Google? Like, Maridian, pink room, super missiles, how get, please? Eventually I stumbled across a wiki that had all the room names, and then I was able to Google the room name I was looking for, which immediately turned up the video I wanted on YouTube. So, people are on it. They have figured this game out backwards, sideways, and inside out. The knowledge is out there. And now I have a little bit more of it than I did. That's a good feeling, because after the Hundo run felt good to flex my muscles again, but I didn't actually learn anything new about the game that I didn't already know. And also, this run, I learned new things, but also I didn't have the anxiousness of, oh, what if I miss an item? Like, that wasn't hanging over my head the whole time. So yeah, man, feels good. Good run, good rando, good times. I like when the randos throw me a curveball like that. Usually, I've been in some rando situations where the answer was untenable. This happened with Link to the Past while I was learning it, because Link to the Past is a very complex game. I gotta charge my beam. What am I doing? Come here, you. No? There you go. Oh, do it again. Come on. Link to the Past is a very big, complicated game with a lot of checks. So if you're not using like a location tracker, it's very easy to get super lost and not be able to find like the one thing you need before go mode. And that's kind of an untenable position, because your only recourse at that point is to replay the entire game and search every single location with a checklist to make sure you got everything. And also if I had found out that, like, the logic required an extremely precise glitch that's very, very difficult to pull off, that would have also been bad. I don't like when randomizers require that kind of stuff. Super Metroid Randomizer doesn't, unless you turn on the full randomization setting like I have. I have so many supers, I'm just going to rapid fire supers up and at him and not even bother to dodge his stuff. That's how little I care in this fight right now. I just don't even. He's going to be in the path of supers eventually. Come here, you. $30 more supers and we'll be at the maximum amount the vanilla game allows. I wonder if it'll only change the number of missiles, super missiles, and power bombs, or if it can unroll energy tanks. Okay, so we're under max supers now. Okay, I gotta let him grab me. I knew he was dead a long time ago, and I'm like, okay, I just gotta let him grab me now. He gets to a point in his AI routine where, like, he just wants to grab you. And that's how you kill him. And that was probably like 30 supers ago. Anyway, we don't need to even check his item. We're gonna go straight to the ship from here. So no speed booster this run. It's also possible... Now that I'm saying this, I'm not sure. It would be possible for me to complete the seed without the space jump, because there's a gravity jump that gets you up into lower Norfair. I don't know if randomizer, even on the full randomization that I'm using, would ever require that. Like, part of me thinks, like, yeah, sure, that's like well-known speedrun tech. For sure, the randomizer can put that in there, but then the other part of me is not as confident. Because there's a hard check in lower Norfair that there's the Chozo statue that drains the lava if you go left from the lower Norfair elevator. That Chozo will not drain lava unless you have the space jump. It's a hard check. For some reason, the game makes sure you have that item or it doesn't let you advance beyond that scene. So it's possible that because of the lower Norfair item checks there, space jump is just required in the randomization logic no matter what you do. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I know that with the resources that we had in this seed, if I had never found the space jump, I would have been okay. We could have gotten to Ridley without the space jump. I would have liked to see the speed boosters somewhere, because we had a bunch of energy tanks locked up behind speed boosters. We would have needed a lot more energy to get through lower Norfair, but I think we found enough. It's possible that the game didn't even roll me 14 energy tanks, who knows? But we've got enough. Let's go Tutorian. From here the game is just going to be pretty much like vanilla. There's nothing new it can show us at this point. But yeah, what a wacky path we took today. Shoutouts to Kefka Floyd for sponsoring this video. If you liked the video and you want to see more, please tickle my thumb, leave a friendly comment, and ring my little bell.